So this is my second of this filmmaker's journal as part of the Behind the Scenes with Billy series, and I'm still awaiting for feedback on my feature-length screenplay. The only response I've gotten so far is from someone who asked me a question: Why did you make it 66 pages and not longer? And then I had an answer for her, and then she said, "Yeah, I'll definitely read it." So, okay, great. Well, I got another person to read it. That's the good news. So, I'm hearing something about it, but I'm still waiting for the response of, "Oh, I read it, and here's what I think." So, still waiting on that. You can even call this part two of the last entry I just did. And one of the things that I'm still thinking about, and I talked about this last time, was what can I do in the meantime to feel like I'm furthering my production along as I'm waiting for feedback on the screenplay. And I already went through, okay, should I start working on some visual effects for shots I know that are going to be in there? I decided not to do that because what if those shots are taken out of the script? I thought, should I start scouting for locations? Doesn't make sense to do that yet because the look isn't there yet. It's not winter yet. That will affect my decisions. Are those locations still going to be needed once the script is revised? That also affect my decision. But then it hit me that this project, I think what's really going to make or break it is finding the right actors or actresses, whatever term you want to use. I still don't even know which is the correct term to use these days for female actors. Do you say actor? Do you say actress? If I use the wrong term, anyone can feel free to rip me a new one. I'm just doing my best here. What's really going to make this work is making sure I have the right actors to play the three lead roles. The name of the project, as it still stands, this has been the name of it for 15 years. That hasn't changed. Maybe it will change, maybe it won't. The title of the project is Three, as in the number, THREE. And it's a play on words, of course. It alludes to the fact that World War III looks like it's starting in the world. The journey they're taking takes 3 days, and it's also three women who are the main characters. There's other references to the number in there, but we don't have to go into that. But that just calls the fact that I have to be sure I find the right actors. And that's something I can start on right now, even though I don't plan to shoot this until not even this winter, but next winter. And one of the things I thought about is that if everything materializes as quickly or quicker than I thought it would, maybe I do shoot it this winter. I don't know. It's too soon to say. I don't want to pigeonhole myself into that goal, but my deadline is next winter, 2023 to 2024. So I can start the hunt for my actors now. What exactly does that mean? I think that most people that are in filmmaking or in video production, their mind instantly goes to, oh, you should do an audition. I'm not entirely sure I want to do that right now. I will be transparent with the fact that I've never done an audition for any of my projects. I just never have had to do that because whenever I write something, I always have a pretty clear picture in my head of who I want to play the parts. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. This time around, I really don't know who I want to play these parts. I have people I would love to see play these parts, but I have to be realistic about logistics. I've asked myself the question, can I go with the actress that I've always worked with? I don't think that's very realistic in this case because, for one thing, I really don't know what my budget is going to be. And also, I'm not really sure. I don't think I'm going to make this a union project. I just don't think I have the bandwidth for that. And pretty much all the actresses that I know who I think would be great for this are all in the union, or they're in Los Angeles, or they've got too much on their plates. And I just don't think it's realistic that they're going to be able to commit to something like this. And I think it might be a good exercise for me to work with people that I've never worked with before. Maybe it is a good idea to work with someone who's so fresh that they would be just be dying to do a project, so I don't have to worry too much about, you know, how much they're going to need in terms of resources and payment and things like that, just to be honest, because I don't really think I'm going to be able to provide much. I'll definitely feed my actors, I'll give them creative input, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not really sure I'm going to be able to do much more than that. What I think I'm going to do is see if, in a way, the work has already been done for me. This film, I think, really, where the power is going to come from is the dynamic between the three main characters and how they play off each other. What's their chemistry? That is going to be paramount. That is going to be what's really going to be key. You know, yeah, the script has to be great, the dialogue has to be great, the cinematography has to be great, the sound has to be great, all that stuff comes into play. But what's really going to make or break it is the acting and how these actors have chemistry with each other. Maybe what I can do is see if there's a troupe of three women who already work together. Maybe they're a comedy troupe. Maybe they are friends at a theater school, at a local college, fill in the blank. And maybe I could just go about it that way. If that doesn't work, then maybe I'll put an announcement on Backstage, or maybe even go to the announcement I put on Backstage for the last project I was trying to get off the ground. I could talk about that another time. But that's the approach I'm going to take, and we'll see how that goes. I also have to be sure I prioritize that accordingly, because I'm having a pretty busy week with work. I've got to get my projects done. I've got work to do around the house. I've got kids to take care of, all that good stuff. But as long as I am doing something to further this production along, that is the takeaway. I'm really curious to know what other independent filmmakers have done to go about this. I know my colleague just announced a Backstage a casting announcement for his feature that I'm going to be collaborating with him on in the future. But let's see how this process goes. Let's see if I can find three actresses who already have a chemistry, already know what it's like to work together. Maybe they'll fit with this project, maybe they won't. And if it doesn't work out, I'll find another way. I think that's all I've got to say for today. Until next time, I hope you're all doing well out there, and good luck with your projects, and I wish you the best.